right, Friday the 28th of December. Thanks everybody for being here. I cannot believe we've lost another year. My, how fun flies when you do in time. We're about ready to open. There we go. Ding ding. Please, please, please let the markets do what they're going to do for at least a couple of 3 minutes, maybe 5 minutes on these. This is OPK on the gap up, Apple on a gap up. Ouch. Nettie's gapped way down. Have to keep an eye on that puppy, not letting it get away from me. Let's launch the live trader alerts again. And we're off and running 2-day highs just like crazy. Let it go for a little bit and see if they're going to continue. All right, 15. Yep, that's good. 5, that's good. Let's do 1-day 5. We'll gap it up around 250 on the SPY. Yep, that's about a 50% retracement, folks. Not to say that that's what it's going to do. We're just approaching 2 minutes into the market. Whoops. I was, but I had the microphone off. Sorry, Val. Didn't say much of anything except give the markets a couple, 3-5 minutes to open. And I was just trying to reposition all this stuff. It's hell when I start behind. Okay, let me try to remember everything that I had started once before and to start again. Well, it's trying to connect to TD Ameritrade. I'm not getting any data feed yet. I'm sure tempted to buy some of this SPSX. Can you guys hear me now still? Okay, thanks, Alan. George. SPSX is still marching higher, trying to fill that gap. Spiders is trying to fill that gap. Looks like, yeah, I don't know. Well, good morning, Stu. Thanks for joining us here. George, anyone else that's new here, welcome. We have our open house through Monday. We have a 30-day trial offer here for only $14. I'll post that out in a moment. Hello, Ed. Thank you. If you guys have any questions, I'm going to have some other links to post out there as well, from tell you a little bit about what we are and what we do. Okay, and let me get the YouTube channel. Free to sign up. Inside there we have a number. We have an overview session that does a 26 minutes to a job on explaining the short version of my chart setups, my trade setups, that kind of stuff. And for members, can get an e-learning that's a little over an hour long and goes into more detail basically of all that. You have to be a member to get to that one, though. We're gonna top out at 3150 on the SPSX, baby. Gonna look at UPRO. See what it did here. I've got a divergence between my stochastics RSI and price. And momentum seem, this is really strange. But it's really strange. I'm going to step aside. Price is pulling back and momentums are going higher. So go figure. Price is king. Could this be that we're not that we're still in holiday trading volumes?
Order filled.
All right, I'm trying over here. I'm trying a little UPRO here, and it's gonna, when it rolls over, my stop is obviously pretty close. let's see. We got any? I don't trade $2 stocks. OPKs. Gap from 250 to 290. Run 20 cents. Will be. I'll take that one off my list because I don't want to waste any time looking at stocks I'll never trade. PM got up to 69. Might be running out of steam. Tesla gapped up in the 325 level. Probably have to use options, most of us. I don't have that kind of cash floating around. There's Overstock, Foot Locker, MGM. Come on, there you go. Baidu's up $1.50. Yeah, these things have been up for a heck of a run on the 5 minutes. So, are we going to count on it to continue to go higher or not? I don't know. Apple, after the pullback, this looks like it's trying to. Okay, I'm in UPRO here. I'm looking for taking money off at about 34.50 ish. Um, 3 minute. Oh, wait. Hold on, let me get this established there.
Target filled.
All right, I'm already out half. You see the doji here, and I went above that, and I'm actually trading on this account here. Then I'm just going to try to ride it up, and now I'm going to take it to break even plus. Yeah, and I felt very uneasy that my momentum indicators and price were going in opposite directions. I had a divergence, so I felt like I could get stepped on pretty easily. But Spiders is going. I'm going to keep an eye on the 5 and 15 minute of the SPY, and if they start to show any sign of weakness at all, I'll step aside. And I was out plus 20 cents on the first half. Okay, long. I'm running behind here, so I do apologize. I was at long UPRO at, I guess that's 34.26. Now I'm coming back up to the highs of the day, and I fully expect it to pause there, if not reverse there. And if you notice, my momentums are basically saying we're kind of long in the tooth. I could probably go down to a 1 or a 2 minute chart. Whoops, too many. See how that's kind of flipping over, but like I said, it paused and now it's going. So we'll see how we can. I originally had a target at 35. $34.96 to be exact. Alright, I'm going to raise my stop. Okay, I'm going to show you what I'm doing here. Okay, because I'm offline using NinjaTrader in a different account. And I'm basically on a 1 minute chart. I keep raising. There's where I went long. And I raise up. And basically, if I get stopped out on the pullback here, that's so be it. Now, I've got an overlay over here to the right that you guys can't see. There's some sort of problem with NinjaTrader 8. And it's just the overlays. I think it's a problem with NinjaTrader 8 and the Omnovia projector, but can't do anything about it. I just sit there and watch this one. So probably 61 or so.
Order filled.
I went ahead and closed it. First sign of weakness. That was at 72, I think. 71. Okay, so I am out fully. It could still go higher. I'll be happy with what I've got. Going back to 3 minute charts. Baidu ran up a little bit and been back. Not a bad run. Apple is moving its way back up. Apple, if people are interested, it's a good trender and a good options intraday trade. Okay, that was out 34.71. That was up 45 cents on the 2nd of UPRO. Alright, I'll be posting that trade in just a second. First, what I want to do is I want to post out some information for people who are new here. And let's see. there's a number of files for folks to look at. Yeah, good. Save myself 30 cents on UPro. Um, the first one's on my favorite chart patterns. It's covered in the overview that you see in the video. Post trade analysis I referred to. It's basically an after action review, military type stuff. Some reversal times that I think apply. Share sizing chart in Excel to people who would want to do day trading, and a quick way to tell you how many shares, the maximum shares you should be able to buy, given a maximum of $100 risk. If you want to double that, that's cool. Or more, or double or triple. Again, you would be taking on increased risk. Here's a list of the tradable stocks and ETFs that I have out there based upon price, volume, and average true range. Turns out to be about 1,328 stocks and ETFs that meet my criteria. No sense in looking at stuff that that you would never trade, either too expensive or the like, or don't move enough, or they're way too cheap, don't have enough volume. Let's see what else we got there. Okay. Okay, hold on a second. You surprised the crap out of me, guy. You surprised me. I didn't see it.
Well, Buffett keeps running up. Oh, I tried talking to you. You did. Got her. Yeah. I got him. I think it might just get the particular smell and stuff up, so it's not that bad. But there's chemicals that you put on the grid so that hey, ow. No, that's okay. You're all right. I have a you should be picking up some money. All right.
You guys be good. Oh, go outside.
Did you just step on something, guys? Here we go. Yeah. Muffin, don't go after Henry. Be nice to Henry.
What did you forget?
Mom, I can take away sparks.
Oh, okay. All right, I'm back to work.
All right,
Has Muffin eaten her breakfast?
oh yeah.
Okay.
She got given,
Pardon?
she got given her breakfast. I don't know if she ate it.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that, folks. Got interrupted by family. So this is where we are, the tradable stocks. And I think that's pretty much all we've got there. PM probably gapped up. Yeah, gap up and stall on a 5-minute chart. Yeah, that doesn't look so bad. That's a little bit of a pullback. I give it a little bit of more, maybe a move over 68.80, but it doesn't seem to move a lot. So I'd probably not trade that. I wouldn't trade MGM because it doesn't move enough either. Really, you'd have to buy a gazillion shares, and I'm not into that. We'll get rid of PM. If you were going to swing trade them, that might work, but with the markets the way they are, I'm not a swing trader today or lately. One that really moves a lot, but is pretty expensive, is Tesla. So you probably have to look at an options trade there. Overstock, cheap enough, but I don't think it moves enough for me to be trading it. Scana Group, the truck manufacturers. Let's look at a 1-day 5. I'm eliminating all these, and maybe I shouldn't be. Yeah. It kind of moves, 80 to 20, that's 40 cents. I guess I can leave it on there. Herbalife does move. And you leave that on there. It's kind of volatile, so be careful with that one. United Health is, kind of expensive, but I thought that if you go out to the monthlies, it works out pretty well on options. Let's see, Moo and let's see, Deckers. Deckers is moving on the daily, on the intraday, not so much. Let's look at Apple here. You notice, well, there's Apple there on the left. But it's basically going up the, right up about a 45-degree incline. I call it T-line runner because the close, I think we only had one or two closes that were at or near that blue line. NetEase has fallen out of bed. Boo. And MU was one that I was watching from yesterday. All right, so now we've can start looking at Las Vegas Sands. Daily over 52, intraday. It's just had a pretty good run since yesterday afternoon. MGM as well, with all the casinos, I guess. T-Mobile US, T-Moose, looking okay. And it runs enough. And where I'm getting this is from the live trading alerts. And I'm looking at least a 2-day high would have the symbol. 2-day high, this is actually a 9-day high, LCI. And go on there, yeah. And that looks like it's a nice curl up off the 50. And these are 2-day lows with, SPXS is 6-day low. These are 5-minute highs and 5-minute lows, so you'll get, I've combined the groups together of sorts. KTOS, I like to get ones that have a good daily and to start with a good daily and then drill my way down. We gapped up and basically are stopped on the spiders. And let's look at the Qs. Same thing. IWM. Whoops, hit the wrong one. And IWM basically gap up, but it actually moved a little bit. It's holding. So the IWM looks maybe the strongest of the bunch right now. Guys, have any questions? I know we have 60 people here. I want to thank you all for stopping by and give us a try here. We will have another open house on Monday, and then we'll go back to regular trading. We'll get a new password on Monday night. And I want to show you how to grab your password. All right. For those, what you do is you go to Hit and Run Candlesticks, go to Member Login, do your login. then all the services that you're a member of, authorized for, will show up here. Just go to Top Gun Trading. If that's only one, it'll be the only one on the left. And then right at the top here, you'll see the password. And for the month of December, it's B-52. B-52. And I didn't choose that one. I'm going to use, yeah, whatever. All right. So if you guys have any questions, shoot them out at me and I will be most happy to answer them. There is one other thing that I would suggest to everyone. Let me do this. Okay. Trading room login. I'm going to open a new window. All right, you go here in room 3. Okay, and you're an attendee. There's your email address and password. I'm going to tell you, my suggestion is, let's change that to red. Right in here, it says open in one window. You're much better off if you have that you open it up in 2 windows. So you deselect that room. Do not, it'll probably come in with a check mark on it. Deselect it. You'll open it up with 2 windows. What that will allow you to do is to resize and position where your chat window is, and let you resize and position the chart area. If you don't do that, you're stuck, and a lot of people can't see the chart. They're too small, or the chat gets in the way, and there's some extraneous BS that's out there. So I strongly recommend people open in 2 windows, so you deselect that one. So you can resize everything. All right, IWM's giving it back. Let's get this out of the way. And SPSXS. Apple started to go south. If Apple gets below 154.75, I'm probably going to short it. So WW is worth watching. AAPL under, what do we say, 154.75. Less than 154.75. Now, an aggressive trader could probably take it short right now. Not me. All right, let's look under Analyze. I'm going to look at the 19 Jan, so 14 days out. Puts 157-ish. Yep. Okay. Copy. See how one candle does not the trend change? Mark, um, people had commented to me about the screens and Ninja Thinkorswim, when they did their update a while back, changed all the backgrounds and the whatever, and I played around with it. Have you got a comment as which one looks better? NinjaTrader, when I did the upgrade, it changed to grays, dark grays on the whites. Um, Here's my TC2000 that I have here. That's one that brings up one other thing. I've got TC2000. We've got lots and lots of scans for that. I'll share with members and try to help them set up Thinkorswim or NinjaTrader if you get it. It's free. You can't trade directly from it like I can without paying for it, but you can chart with it, and I'll help members do that. It's so difficult to do, and we share some, some scans and whatever here. And that, which looks better for you? I'm looking for. In fact, why don't I do a poll here? Since we've got 60 people here, and I'm not seeing. Let me do a quick poll. Okay. Right. Okay. Well, I've actually put a poll out there, Tom. And Tom, you posted on the YouTube channel. I saw it, and I was waiting for you to come by and let me see you here. I take it that you were wanting to have the PDF or of the slides that I covered in last Friday, I guess it was. But I don't really have slides. They were kind of it was a impromptu session. The overview, the other things I posted out, my favorite chart patterns and what has most of it. You see how we're getting here? We've got 4 blacks, 8 say white, and 4 say either one. So we're really basically looking at a push. Hey, for me, they're all. I've got it optimized for a black background on my computer. On TC2000, I have it optimized here for black and white candles instead of red and green. What it does, Doug Campbell pointed out that you don't get psychologically damaged by the colors and get psyched out. You actually look at the price, and I tried it and found it. Yeah, especially if you don't have maybe if you don't have a lot of light in your room, but yes, I can see where that occurs. Um, that's kind of why I went to the black background, and I'm wondering, Val, are you having trouble seeing the? Okay, I've got right up here. I've got Apple in the upper left-hand corner of the little box and toss, and I've got it right here in the upper left-hand part of the chart. They are fairly small fonts. Do you have trouble seeing it now that I've kind of blown it up? You can see it, or you're having trouble with it? And is it any different? You're having trouble. Okay, do you have one window open or two in Omnovia? I'm going to bet you're going to say one. You remove all grid lines. Grids kind of help me a little bit sometimes, where I could judge like this level here. Okay, I'm going to stop the poll now. It's basically 50-50. Does anybody else have trouble seeing the stock symbol? Okay, Valerie, can you hear me? All right, are you using one window or two windows? All right, that's what I was saying is if you use two windows, you can resize the chart and see it better. That's why I suggest getting in with two windows. You can have a very small chat window and then enlarge your chart if that's what you want to see. All right, I showed just a minute ago how you do that when you log in. Let me do that again real quick. Okay, and trading room login. Go down to room 3. And when we get down here to this little box right here, probably starts with a check mark in it. Uncheck it. And that means you will open up in two windows. I don't know why. Well, I guess I have an idea why they want it in one, but we need to resize it. If you really need to be able to see both, and that means when you open up with two, you can make the general chat area pretty small and maybe vertical or whatever. Okay, or you can try it the next time you log in if you want to as well. But hey, I don't see anything happening right now. Lowell says, I use black backgrounds as occasional optical migraines mean bright screens sometimes hurt. Just yeah, and I'm trying to hit the happy medium and make Make it I can live with either one, and I'll make it what's best for all of us or the most of us. But as you can see from the poll, it's about 50-50. PETS is doing a rounded bottom. I think it runs to the 25 level on a swing trade. Probably not going to be a whole lot on the day trade though. That showed up here under the LTA 2-day high, under 16-17 day high. It is running into some minor resistance here around 24.50. And the other thing is the volume criteria right in here is the PETS is doing 1.2 times normal volume for this time of day at 10:16. I have 1.2 as a minimum, so it won't show up there unless it's greater than normal, and it won't show up on any of the others. I've 1.2 as a minimum. So I filtered out. If it's normal volume, it doesn't show up. Well, why do you do that, Steve? I said, I want stuff moving on volume. That usually means that it has the momentum behind it and has the higher probability of continuing. Because we're going to have we got 1,328 stocks. And you saw how that zinged by us earlier in the day, right? VSTM. And what I do is I'll, after about 10 o'clock, I'm starting to look at it, the 5 and 15 minute charts on these. How is LABU doing? Yeah, the biotechs look like they're trying to curl up, but I don't trust this. I don't trust this rally to be going ultra long, which is why I'm doing only day trades, no swings, and I'm taking profits quicker. Whereas when I took the UPRO trade up here earlier, and we topped out at 34.80. I got out at 71, so I'd gotten enough. So I mean, when the markets become extra volatile, you need to do a number of things. If you decide not to trade, that's one option. If you do decide to trade, reduce your size. If you normally trade if you normally risk $200, risk $100. If you normally trade 400 shares, trade 200, and take profits quicker. Be happy with smaller amounts, because we're getting reversals intraday a lot. Way to go, Mr. Doug Kirk. Attaboy. And was that entered and exit both today, Doug? Or did you enter part of it yesterday and sell out today? Just curious what it is that you saw. And you sure don't need a whole lot of movement to make the money there, though. I tend not to trade options on the indices. Just haven't. Doesn't mean that it's not a good idea or that I shouldn't. And we can see here the Apple is just kind of in a trading range here. It could get a little bottom here on the 3, did a little hammer, went up about 2/3, or about 1/3 to 1/2 the drop, and then stopped. Well, there's Tesla, just kind of a wide trading range. United Health is back up to the gap up level. It's basically recovered all of its fade. Baidu, Herbalife. Let's see what GoGo's doing here. Yeah, GoGo is a no-no for me. You know, it doesn't move enough. It's cheap stock. It's cheap for a reason, but it has tight spreads, so that's not bad. But how many shares would I have to buy to make, even $40? Let's say it went from $2.95 to $3.05. That's 10 cents. 400, 1,000, 2,000 shares. I think there are easier trades out there. CFX. Nice little T-line runner there. Again, not a whole lot of volatility there. VSTM, it's okay. Wow. U.S. Treasury's back down to 2.74%. And now I'm looking over here on the 5-minute highs, LABD, trying to come up off the bottom. Mr. Squid, QID. QID is looking like it's getting into a little bit of a gap there. From yesterday, I guess 1 day 5 will work. So it's probably going to run to 49. You see that maybe with the Qs. There's Apple. Let's do 1 day 5. Again, I'm looking for 154.75-ish. Well, yeah. 155 maybe. A break of that. And 75. It'd be nice if it got down to that level, bounced, and then broke it. A little zigzag. The Qs are pulling back sharply. Spiders, right now, under 248, say 247.90. Could be a short on the SPY. Target would be somewhere around 246, $2. 11 Jan wouldn't be so bad. Watching Apple, watching spiders. That's the 15-minute. I have to be careful here. This spider is really forming a gentle pullback unless it gets below 247. We did do the gap fill here. All right, spider put. I'm long one spider put the January whatever January 11th 250 puts from 689. Watch this and see if it continues to go lower. This right here is a bit of a void. There's no, I don't think there's any sellers between us and 246. Try to sell it just a little bit before it gets there. Apple's approaching the level where you might be thinking about a short. And is anybody else trading anything other than Doug and myself? Okay, that sounds reasonable to me. We are in a downtrend. I just need to be patient. Not get shaken out. At some point, I could take one off the table. there's the 15-minute chart here, trying to show a potential intraday J hook. Right here, if we fail the 247.50 level, I think we go to another 25 to 50 cents lower. That should work. That's not going to work. We have oil out at 11, not 10:30. Let's see if we push lower here. My puts are at the high of the day as we're approaching the lows of the day. 247.40 there. Hey, Stalker. UXIN? Interesting. Never heard of that one. Happy holidays to everyone. There's 247.50 on the SPY. Is it going to get through that? All right, I'm going to go ahead and take half at that level there because it's a nice round number. And it's at 712. And set the next one at break even. Okay, we're going. See what happens if we get down to 247. Yep, nothing to do. Oh no, yeah, no school runs either to interrupt the open. Loco? What time frame, Mr. Loco? Daily? Oh, let's try a 3-day chart. Weekly, most definitely. There's the weekly 5-day chart. There's a 3-day chart. You can see it. The daily, it kind of gets hidden in there. They're good eyeballs. High of the day for the options. Hey, no problem. But I like to look at the 2s and 3s. Oh, sorry, the 2/3 day or the 5-day when I get to that. All right, Apple's breaking the level. If you wanted to go, possibly go short there, I would like to see a bounce first, maybe. But don't know. There's a 3-minute. 246.89. I'm at the high of the day here on the puts, 750. See if that 246 comes into play. Boom. Now 760. See if we can ride it a little bit here. Get another push. $770. Got a sell order in at 789. If I can get that high. We're coming up into a little bit of a kind of a bounce possible area, 246.60, 50-ish. Yeah, 50. Every 25 cents to a half dollar. Let's see if I could try to squeeze out here. All right, I'm out at 769. Just a hair short of my real target there. Seeing a little bit of a curl up here. Okay. All right, so let's sorry, I should have put those in there. I'm just going to post that up right now. January 11 Jan. $6.89. Sold one at, was that 712? I didn't get a very good fill there. Trying to get it 19 or higher, and then all right, now I'm put it in announcement phase. I do apologize I didn't put it in there. I was concentrating so much about where it was going. And you notice how I got down to 246.50 and then reversed? Another reason for taking what the markets will give you, not in being too greedy. I did have a target of 89 and I didn't like, I saw where the stochastics RSI on the 3-minute was curling up, and I'd already gotten a significant amount of money at 80 cents, so you know, significant. I had enough of a move. I'll just go ahead and take it. You know, meter drop here. Okay. Probably could have taken in some more puts instead of just two. That's 12 and 11 is 23. Now remember, I've got very, very low commissions on these. I have $1 per option contract plus the fee, so it's about $1.08, $1.07 per contract. It's about $2.20 a round trip. It was only $103, but you know, I'll take it. I probably should have taken 4. Um, that's a good question. SPSX. Let's look at that one and see what happened. Wouldn't have to play around with it. Where was I at that point in time? We were on the SPY at 1024 as it broke down above 3159 and 400 shares 31. I probably should have traded SPSX or XU looking at it. Because we were talking yesterday about doing options, I was basically showing everyone how you could trade an options trade if you wanted to do that. Right now I chose the SPY, but it could have been maybe Apple. It could have been, see where Apple got down to 154.55. It didn't get down very far. Probably would have had to gone below 155.75 and then play $1 there. Probably a locked in on a trade idea before kind of thinking it all the way through. Hey, I didn't say I was perfect. Some of what I do is really to try to show you guys how I would trade a certain strategy. Now we look at it and analyze it like you've done and said, you know what? You don't have to play around with all these options things if you just go ahead and trade the ETFs because they're running the options automatically in the background. And that's what I love about the leverage ETFs. They're a whole lot easier, a lot simpler. You don't have to figure out what the strike price is or the expiration date you want to choose. Over 3160 got to 3220 if you got it perfect, but you know, you're not gonna. It got up to the first level around 3181. So an SPSX trade, SPSX trade would have been probably around, I'm going to call it 3160. And when it got to the bottoms of these right here after about 20 cents, you know, 400 at 3160, you probably 3180, take off 200. And then the last one, you probably was targeting this 3250. Shut up. but in fact, you probably got out around 32 as it pulled back. That'd be 40 cents at 200. I don't think there's a whole lot much different in the trades. Yeah. Okay. That's $20. And SPSX 40. It's only 40. Oh. Wait a minute. 40 and 80. Right? Yeah. All right. SPX trade would have been $120 based on what we saw. Now I hit 2 spider puts instead of 4, and I got 103. So, is there a lot difference in it? I don't know. To me, I pay in Thinkorswim. I'm paying a little bit more on the SPSX that I do the spiders to put options. It turned out to be about the same, or a little bit better, maybe, for the SPSX. It's a whole lot simpler. That's for sure. All right, sorry to digress so much. Okay, we're looking at 10:50 till 10 minutes till 11. My journaling, it tells me that Fridays are terrible, terrible, terrible time to trade in the afternoons. In fact, so bad. I'll come back to that in a second, Bob. So bad, especially because people could be trying to take off early to make a 4-day weekend, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. And then some people won't come back until Thursday to trade. I mean, it'd be nice and easy to take 3 days off and get us, 10 days off when you got it in the middle of the week. So you get Saturday, Sunday, and then the one in the middle, that's 5 days, and then you take 3 days off. I'm almost positive it is. Let me double check. I'll go to Econo Day. Do. Well, it does not show the 31st being a half day. Let's think about that. I guess not. There's the early closing. And there's Christmas Day for the early closing. That's it. So New Year's Eve is not on that list. I would have lost that bet. No, I kind of didn't say anything, so I went out and looked at the NYSE, and it told me that no early closing. All right. Bob S. asked, why did I select January 11 expiry? Well, that's a pretty darn good question. You know, what the hell were you thinking? All right. What I was doing, I was on spiders, went to analyze. Okay. It has weeklies. I don't know. I ignore the quarterlies and the midday weeklies normally. All right. 11th of January, if you look at that, is 14 days out. And what I normally try to do is to have ones that have pretty good volumes and whatever. But my choice would have been 7 days out or 14. One of the reasons why I'll choose probably the farther out, even is that if I when I try to sell, there's people going. They're going to look at it and say, "Oh, I have some extra. I have some extra time." So the theory was, you know, this is 32% on 11 Jan, and the other one is 32.48. One's 32.9. Implied volatility. So the 11 Jan's a little bit higher implied volatility because it's further out, and the 250s were at that time, I believe, were a little bit over the 50%. So we've done a little bit of a rally now. We're at 248 something. They both have decent enough volume today and open interest at those levels. That one and that one. So a lot of people are trading the closer in. Now, again, this is one of those, you've got to decide what it is. Did I make the right choice? Maybe not. It looks like a lot more people are trading 7 days out than 14. Primarily, probably because it's the spiders. And if I went to a stock and it was going to swing it over a day or two, probably want at least 14 to 21 days, something like that. Let's go look at the charts, and let's look at SPSX. Oops, let me look at trade. We're probably a whole lot better trading the ETF that's leveraged, and we don't have to worry about it. Now, that's because the spider has an ETF on it. Okay. Let's go to the spiders. All right. Show you here in just a second there, Mr. Bob. What? All right. I eyeballed this level here about 248.25 to 248. And when it broke through that, I figured that it was going to go down, 50 cents or 25 cents at a whack. Let's put this at 0.25 then. Because I eyeballed it, I did not mark it up, but when we went through that level, we went down to 247.50. That's about 50 to 75 cents below. And then I figured the next one was 247, then 246 half. And we were in the middle of this, and then I saw on a 3-minute that it was curling back up. The stochastics RSI started curling back up right away. So Bob asked the question on your SPY trade. Could you tell us what setup I was on? It's basically a breakdown through the low of the day after we had come down once, bounced up, and it went down the second time. It's the old zigzag pattern. Let me change the color here. So we came down, hit a level, and that was the low of the day there. And we dipped our toe the other side and bounced up. And it went up to another level that was basically a resistance level now that used to be support. And we went down to the second time. So what I'm looking for is move down to a support level. Let's call it this level here. Then a little bit of a bounce. And then break down through it the second. In fact, this time was the third time down through that level. So what I was doing is I was counting on it to continue down. So that was the pattern. And the trigger was to break below 248.25. And then trailing out to stop. I had 2 contracts, probably should have had 4. One of the problems with doing it in options is trying to define your risk. Whereas with SPSX, right there, 3160. I'm going to say, do I have to let it go all the way down there for me below 3130 to prove that I'm wrong if it goes up?
Connection
Up
lost.
over here and then breaks all the way back down? No. If it goes back down below 3140, I'm dead beat. I need to be out. Maybe even before that. Maybe even using the volatility stop. Okay? So I'm probably only going to be risking 10 or 15 cents. I can define it. Now, with the options, kind of hard to do. So maybe that's why I went with 2. A lot of times this is, I may have probably forgotten the rationale behind why I do certain things, but I've just remembered them, what I have to do, rather than why. You're absolutely right to ask the question, and I'm sorry that I can't totally answer them and sound like a very intelligent trader, but I'm pretty much of an instinctive trader in that certain things work. A breakout, if it breaks out a little bit and gets up to here and it comes down to the other side of the candle, it's not working. Because when I got in, I expected it to go up and maybe zigzag, but continue to go up. A breakdown below these moving averages, even though they're not triggers, gives me a change of trend. So I'm really talking about wanting to stop. Notice how we came back here. And where did we come to? We basically came back to the breakout level. You said, well, Steve, you said 3160 was a breakout. Yeah, on the long side, yes. But on the support side, it was the tops of these. Let me draw. Let's draw it this way. something like that, or the possibility is that it went all the way down to there. All right. But when things bounce, they bounce off the top of the support levels, not the bottoms, normally. Now, it doesn't look like this is continuing. However, my stochastics RSI is coming up. This one hit down here and reversed. Stochastics RSI curled back up. Would that have been a natural trade? I don't know. Way to go there, Stalker. Bob, did that answer your question at all? I did the best I could. It looked right. A breakdown. From now on, I'm definitely on the indices. I'm going to stay with the leverage ETFs, and on things like Apple or whatever, those are the ones I'll use options. Yeah, I'm not going to try to bullshit you guys and tell you that I've got everything figured out. I've always through my whole life analyzed things, and analyzed things offline, and then come up with the decisions I would make given a certain situation, and that's what I remember. And sometimes I forget the whys. And that's what's so great about you guys being here. You're like 5-year-olds. Why? 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 It doesn't get frustrating. What it does is, the frustrating part is when I can't remember why I chose to do that. Eventually I'll probably remember them all. But the whole idea is knowing instinctively what to do when you're presented with a situation. That's what fighter pilots do. They train. They talk about, well, if I was in X situation, what would I do? That's why you go through the training. That's why you go through academic discussions about what would you do in certain situations if you were confronted with such, whether it's fighter pilot or a infantry or armored person in the army or something like that, so that when you get that situation you can confront you don't have to think about it, you just do it. I need to actually get this. All right, there we go. Hope that helps in somewhat. So Doug Kirk traded SPX puts for 250 today. That's great. I'm up 233, and for a Friday at 11 o'clock, I'll stick around with you guys, but I'm not going to trade anymore. I'm going to put money in the bank. Another couple $100. Let me. Whoops. I killed Skype. All right. The spiders on the 15-minute looks like it tried to pull back and do a intraday J hook. It has not failed yet, but it does look like it's attempting to do it, but it's not as energetic as I would have hoped. But we're not going lower. After yesterday's recovery and the day before, we're still holding most of it. That's a good thing. All right, I'm going to go cold bite for a little bit. I'll be right back. I'll still be here, and I'll come on if I see something. I will call out trades at least through 11:30. folks. I just updated the Top Gun Future Performance spreadsheet, and it's out on the web. But I'm pretty proud of being able to do what we were able to do in such a horrible market. Yes, we got about half of it in 1 week, but we take all the goods and the bads. We've been trading since the 1st of November, 1st of May, and we're up over $22,500. So, what are we looking at? May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, 8 months. Oh, it's a little bit more than I thought it was. It's two, on average, and the averages are skewed over $2,800 a month, and that's only risking $100 to $200 a trade and being very conservative and quitting when you're ahead. Had a couple of nasty days, one nasty week, but it is what it is. I don't think you could argue with what we've done. Sure, Mark. Give me just 1 second. Yep, Alan. Primarily stocks and ETFs, a few options trades. I have had 1 or 2 futures trades. It says futures, but that includes stocks. Yes. Where does it say futures? Oh, yeah, at the top. We were trading futures at the beginning. I'm going to rename that. Yes, sorry. We did that for the first 3 or 4 months, and then people were saying that they didn't want to trade futures. So our customer base basically told us, I said, I could trade either one. And you notice that on 1 September, I think, yeah. On 1 September, I went to trading stocks and options, and we've done fine since then. We haven't really missed much of a beat. Yeah, it's mainly stocks. It was futures then. Thank you for pointing that out. I totally spaced out on that one. Let me get the background there. Okay. Where was I? Oh, for Mark. I need to. What's over? Okay, I'm with you now, Mark. Thank you very much, Z. I appreciate that. I already made the change. Uh, GC 2000. And what part? You talk about the chart layout. So you're talking about this chart right here, and you just want to be able to find what that is. What's the easiest way to share it? Well, I'll take a picture of it to start with. And I think I should be able to share it. Let me figure that out. Excuse me. Well, I know I was able to send it via the old TC mail system. Oh, sorry, Paul. The important parts of my chart, Mark, are obviously the moving averages, three, 8, and 17 EMAs, the 50 and the 200 simple, the V stop, 10, 1.5. I do have the 100 simple in there, but you don't necessarily need that so much. I have stochastics, RSI, seven seven three three. Okay, I have balance of power. You don't necessarily need that. And I have volume in the lower Spain. And SMA 20 of volume. Okay, that's pretty much my setup. Right. Yep. If you think of anything else that's out there or you have any questions, please see me. Paul, I did respond, but I didn't. Oh, yeah, I got it now. Right. And I'm looking to see if we've got any stocks that are moving. Whoa, that one gapped up quite a bit. FRC. Oh boy. Broadcom. Broadcom did not get whacked as bad as the overall market. AVGO, AVGO. Oh. Yep, no sound because I had it on mute. Sorry, I went on mute for a while. Um, Mark, those are what I think the most important pieces of the chart are. Right now, we're kind of in no man's land right now, Dan. Markets are really kind of going nowhere, and I'd expect that this afternoon's going to be not a great time to try to be trading if you're doing day trading. And I don't think I'd be initiating I don't know that I'd be initiating new positions here. Not ahead of what amounts to a 4-day weekend. Hey, hey, I apologize that I didn't see that I had that off. Hmm. Yes, I did. I already made the changes, and Z, thank you very much for pointing it out. Um, I renamed it in the upper left hand corner. We started out trading futures until I want to say through the end of August, or was it September? Maybe it was September. And then we started trading stocks, options, and ETFs mostly. I will trade the occasional future, but not much. But thanks for re-asking. I totally spaced out on the mute button. FGO. I'm looking to see if we've got anything that knocking my socks off, but nothing. Not my cup of tea to be shorting $13 stocks, but overstock, if it rolls over from here, looks like a short. Some of the stocks are healing themselves. Things like Yum coming up off the bottom, but they're now just coming back into neutral territory. I'll point out one thing here. Beacon Roofing Supply. It ran up here on earnings, ran up and got above the 50. And when there's a greater than 10% differential between the 50 and the 200, which in this case was 32%, it becomes what's called a rounded bottom breakout. So the rounded bottom breakout is a pattern that Rick Sadler developed. And what I noticed in my addition to his was that a lot of times if there's maybe 20% or more of a significant difference between the 50 and the 200, it may go to the 100. And what I do is I look and see if their 100 has something to the left. And sure enough, it did around 35. And what it do with the market week, it pulled back, but we should go back up and retest here. If you were interested in a swing, I could think of worse ones to go for. But that's why I have the 100 there. And the reason I came up with that is I was up in Rhode Island watching my son. I want to say it was either soccer or baseball. He was participating one in his high school. His high school team. He was in a boarding school in high school, and one of the other parents there was a manager of a hedge fund. He was a portfolio manager in a large hedge fund. And we started talking about things, and he started mentioning the fact that they use the 100 period moving average rather than 200, or in addition to. And a lot of stocks that dip down below the 50 will go to the 100 and then pick up. So I started to add that on, and then I started seeing it occur on the roundabout of breakout. So I put it on my charts now. And I don't necessarily use the 100, but I look over to the left and see if there's something that corresponds with that. So I'm not really using the 100 other than to try to identify kind of a midpoint. Hope that little bit of trivia helps in any way. We're just kind of wallowing around here. There's our spiders. Quickly going nowhere. You bought more PM? The breakout on the rounded bottom is above the 50, with the target being the 200. Again, if it's too far away, then it's really. So let me get you some info on the rounded bottom breakout that's available.
Hit and run candlestick.
And this is probably. There's an RBB video. And basically, I'll pick up. Nope. Okay. I think I found it. Yeah. Nope. I found it yesterday. This might be it. Okay, this is Rick's favorite setups, which includes the pinball setup that I talked about, a rounded bottom breakout. Yeah. And this one, a member of the room wrote a short article for thestreet.com and talked about the parameters. There is a multimedia course about the rounded bottom breakout, and we're going to be getting a lot of them now that we had such a major pullback. All right, we're looking at 11:38, guys, gals. In my mind, we should not be trading anymore this day. We should be. The only thing we should be thinking about is possibly harvesting profits that we have. Maybe doing some setup scans, looking for things that might move on Monday or next week, late next week, early next year. And think about some downtime. All right. So study, or go out and play some golf if you could do that. I would if I could. But if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. 3:40 a.m. Where the heck are you? Australia. All right. New South Wales, huh? Love it. That is one place I've never been that I would love to go to. Been to Hong Kong. I've never been to Japan or Korea. Been to Hong Kong, been to the Philippines, been to Hawaii, been a lot of places in Europe. I'm a bit of a history nut too. So, all right, folks, you guys have a great weekend, and we will see you on the other side. I will go ahead and leave up my charts here in case you wanted to do something for at least for a little bit, but I will be bringing them down a little bit middle afternoon. So you guys be smart, be safe, aloha.